Every day we are involved in activities. We have goals that we want to realize. We have things that we want to improve. And in all of this chasing behind things of the physical world, we have to come to the conclusion that nothing over here seems to bring us that permanent peace of mind and well-being and happiness that we seek. So we set a goal and we do it because we feel that in achieving it we will be happier, life will be better. I will make more money, I will feel happier. Let me find a perfect romantic partner, I will feel happier. Let me lose some weight and I will feel happier. Let me buy that home, I will probably feel happier and more proud of myself, of all my achievements in this world. So in a part it's always also egoic in a sense. Now that doesn't mean that it's absolutely terrible, but yet many people get lost in that. They kind of want people to look up to them, and then at the end of the day that's what their whole life has been about, to impress others and perhaps themselves in a way of what they're capable of achieving. But ultimately everything we achieve here, physically speaking in particular, is going to be left behind in the moment we pass away. That's why it's kind of ridiculous to chase it specifically, these things of the world. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't have anything in this world. Of course, you should have whatever, makes your life more fun in a way, but never lose sight of the fact that it's all temporary. And therefore, if you are indirectly, as most people subconsciously are trying to seek happiness through activities, understand this, because it's not permanent physically speaking. You can't find the happiness you seek in it either. Or at least the happiness you'll find you'll always lose. It's always only going to be temporary. So the question becomes, can we find happiness within ourselves? Can we actually do it? Because this is a thing that most of us know about. We know this saying, like, happiness has to come from within. You gotta find it within yourself. And most people will say, I agree to that. Yeah, I know that is the truth. But do we actually sense it there? Do we understand how to experience that happiness that has to come from within? I would say to you that one of the important elements to find happiness within yourself, to actually experiencing it as coming from the depths of your being, can only occur if you understand the necessity of the soul. Let me try and think of this in a different way, how I can word this differently. I think that the happiness that can come from within only is perceived if we understand that the necessities of our actual human personality have something to do with peace, inner peace, with a calm state of mind, with not being chaotic in our thinking and feeling, having them both be calm and not a chaotic ocean that goes all over the place. So what I'm getting at here is that if you just understand the foundation for happiness is that the mind has to be calm and relaxed, then you're going to find that if you keep working on that, because then we're not specifically chasing a physical goal anymore, we're working on ourselves, on our consciousness here. By doing that, by learning to relax the mind every single day, to take time to relax yourself consciously and become familiar with this process of becoming calm within yourself, then happiness automatically starts to arise and be perceived within yourself. You could also call it joy, because we've said this in another video in the past, that joy is of the soul, happiness is of this world, generally speaking. But you can still call this happiness if that makes more sense to you, because it's about feeling good within yourself. Now, if you feel good within yourself, regardless of what you have physically speaking, well, then you have the only thing worth having throughout your entire existence. Think about it. If you can feel good even in a world where everything is temporary, well, you're gonna be just totally fine. You're gonna just feel great all the time. So I think that's what we want to understand, is that this idea of finding happiness, it has to come from within. It can only arise from within if the mind is calm and a perfect, is prepared for such a thing. I think that's a better way of putting it. So have you been preparing your mind to experience joy from within? Do you understand how to prepare your mind? I could say one key word is meditation all over again. Meditation at first can help you become familiar with what it means to calm down your consciousness itself, to calm down the storm of thoughts, feelings, desires, of things that you would like to have. And because of that storm in the mind, you start to reason, if I don't have it, I'm not as happy as I probably could be. And that's when we become obsessed in a actual detrimental way to our own spiritual well-being in the long run. So by meditation you learn and become familiar to calm down consciousness itself, and then as it becomes calm, you will understand that suddenly you actually do feel fine. And you can then look at your goals from that calmness, and you know, it would be fun if I achieve this, and I'm going to give it my best, of course. But at the end of the day, I know that this calmness is a greater jewel to possess than the money that I could physically achieve by chasing these goals. Because again, the money is temporary, but the calmness, that jewel of the soul, you take that with you even if you pass away. But the money, you don't take that with you, do you? You see, we have to change this around. We have to become aware of these facts and really look them in the eye and admit it to ourselves that this is what it's truly about in life. It's about the evolution of consciousness itself. That's what it's about for human beings. Now, as you become more familiar with the practice of meditation, then in that calmness of mind, you will become able to ask yourself questions that in some ways would be referred to as your higher self. A deeper part of yourself will answer. You could even say God, the cosmic soul of the universe, answers you. You feel intuitively the answer to your questions, and then you become more effective in taking action in this world without being obsessed by needing something in order to be happy. Because all along you were guided from within towards the realization of your goal, and therefore you don't really feel like you're lacking anything, because ultimately you already have everything you want. It's like the Bible said, all things are yours. Like, all that I have is yours, my son. Or something along that line, so I'm a little paraphrasing here. But this is the truth, because the answer to the realization of any physical goal that comes from within means that it was already in a way in possession of it. So spiritually speaking, you already possess anything you want, but it's excluded from view, physically speaking, and then we get sort of diluted because of this physical world. We get diluted into thinking that we need to chase stuff, we need to do this and that in order to be more fulfilled. But that's missing the whole fact that one day you're going to pass away and you're going to let all of this go. So was the fulfillment really in these physical activities? Yes or no? They weren't. They only made your life a little bit more fun. Just a little bit. Trust me, it's not even that much fun. If you had millions on your bank account right now, you might at first think, oh, my life would become amazing. What might be temporarily again, for a few days, weeks, at first it might be shocking and therefore amazing because you're not used to it. But then eventually it's going to feel totally normal. And then you're going to change more and more stuff in the physical world again, because you're not looking at where is this coming from? What is life all about? Life is about being happy, regardless of what's going on. The future for humanity is everlasting happiness and joy. That's your destiny. But you can never perceive that destiny as long as you chase temporary pleasures and things that can only bring you temporary happiness and fulfillment due to the nature of it all. You buy something you truly wanted. You got that object in your home. You're so happy and excited about having it. A couple years from now, or maybe even faster, it might break down on you, doesn't work anymore, and it left your life. Now you can get a new device if you want, but you see, that's the nature of this reality, and it's the same with us, physically speaking, with this body. It's functioning now, but eventually it's gonna stop functioning, and the spirit that is within you, that you are, moves on. So you better become familiar with what this spirit is all about that you are. what it's capable of doing, how it can perceive into other dimensions and see the unity that it has with God's cosmic soul all along. And then you stop chasing all these physical things so much, and you learn to find happiness truly arise from within. Because it arises from within once you truly know that you are an eternal soul. And that all the things that you've been chasing to hopefully get happiness were not what it's all about. It's about you and me understanding the eternal nature of our own consciousness. And that will make us truly happy by understanding who we were all along. That's the beauty of this journey, as far as I can see it.